At a time when Australians are distracted by the pandemic, distracted by debates around mandatory vaccinations, and everyday stresses inflicted by several controversial policies and rising tensions with police, the federal government has used the crisis status of the country as an opportunity to pass through some extremely concerning legislation. The most terrifying of these is the Surveillance Legislation Amendment Bill 2021, referred to as the Identify and Disrupt Bill. And make no mistake, it is a terrifying invasion of your privacy. To investigate this bill further, I'm joined by human rights lawyer, author and Armet University lecturer Greg Barnes. Greg, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks very much for having me, James.
Well, Greg, first and foremost, this bill gives what many are calling unchecked powers to the AFP. What exactly do those powers entail?
Well, these powers, I should say, entail the capacity of the AFP to essentially take over your computer, to alter or delete data, or put data onto your computer. They can do so really for very, very minor reasons. There's reference to criminal offences, but no greater detail. They only have to have a reasonable suspicion. They can get a warrant from the Administrative Appeals Tribunal or a magistrate in most cases. And what they can do is, as I say, effectively become your online presence. And that's what's so dangerous about it, with really no protection.
Well, look, they're all very concerning details. From what you're saying there, it doesn't sound like there is a limiting principle. And from what I've seen, the threshold also seems to be exceptionally low, which is a reasonable threat. Is that accurate?
Yeah, look, the threshold is reasonable. The threshold is very low. Reasonable suspicion, reasonable belief, those sorts of phrases are often used in legislation for police to be able to get warrants. And generally speaking, they do get warrants. There are very few warrants that are knocked back. Warrants to go into your house is one thing, because you go into your house, the police take what they think they can get under the warrant and they leave. This is invading your laptop, your home computer, your phone, and there is capacity under this legislation to be able to do it without having to put affidavit material together, in other words, to justify it to the AAT or a magistrate. If the police say this is urgent enough, they don't have to provide that information for 3 days.